What's going on, YouTube? This is your Melanated Warrior, Haywood Haynes, and this is another installment of Facts Over Feelings. Leave your feelings at the door so we can get to the facts, and we are right back at it. And I do hope by now you have your copy of the Untold Story of the Carbon Baby right in front of you, or you're ordering. You're in the process of ordering. I cannot say it enough how important this manuscript is. I mean, we talk all the time, amongst our people about how important it is to have manuscripts available to us that tells our story. And trust me, I know sometimes people may be, have their reservations because a lot of us may not have confidence. And this is not, and I told you, because of our history with those who proclaim to be teachers and counselors and motivators within the so-called conscious community. They take advantage of us. This is not one of those occasions. I'm telling you, for those who already have the manuscript right in front of them, they'll let you know it's well worth it. And that's why I put a lot into it, even the presentation, even the packaging, to show you guys that I respect, your energy that you put into it and your time too as well. I'm not here to waste your time. That's not what I'm here to do. And it's interesting. I had a conversation with my mother, and, like I said, I rarely, try to talk about my personal experiences, but I think that this warrants attention. But she said something to the effect of, and this was not just, I think that she just said it out of pure instinct. She was just like, and she's a Jehovah's Witness, you guys know that. She was just like, what is, a book gonna do? Our people don't like to read. And it hurt me because to a certain degree, it was true, but it was a convenient truth, because they know that the establishment knows that we don't like to read what they put out. We have no interest in that. We'll fall asleep trying to take in their knowledge, because we know for a fact inside of in our heart of hearts that it has, it only wants to trap the mind. It only wants to capture our imagination. They have no intention of us liberating ourselves here first. Because remember, I go back to that point when we were stating before how so many people talk about, what are you doing? These people just sitting up here on YouTube. We complain about individuals not taking the lead and liberating our people, liberating their minds. And then when they do so, we say, what are you doing? We're doing the very work that needs to be done first. The first one to the mind is the winner. And understand this, my mom, she didn't graduate high school or anything like that, but you're looking at a product of someone who invested their time and energy into their child. My mom always put me around books. And you see what the end result is? She did her damn job. And that's what I was telling her. I said, I'm actually the antithesis of your proclamation. I am a living result of someone. When you put books around them, this is what you get. And remember what we said before. If you cannot understand what you have read, you cannot read. This is the importance of reading, because then you're looking at it through your own, you are evaluating the information. There's no one to help you. There's no training wheels on your brain. You don't have the liberty to be in class and ask the teacher, what does this mean? What does that mean? Remember, that's the luxury that you have in school. But when you're sitting and reading the manuscript for yourself, just like how when you watch a movie, you're going to get out of it what you think, you're going to grab the meaning out of it from your perspective. Even though it's going to, give you everything that you need to come to that perspective, to come to that conclusion, right? It's still, you can only go so far as what you know, right? Even though the book is encouraging you, and heightening your awareness by giving you new concepts and taking you down different paths, you're still going to be limited in terms of what you already know. So how much meaning can you gather out of this manuscript from what you already have? Of course, you already know the intent of the manuscript. And this is one of the reasons why we have to be readers, because it strengthens our mind. And we can't be lazy, in this regard whatsoever. If it requires us to look up a word or two to see exactly what the author is trying to convey to the reader, then we must do that. Because we have to exercise the mind, just like you exercise the physical body. Never leave that in somebody else's hands. Never. Because the first one to the mind is the winner. And we're gonna go off starters, but let me finish what I was talking about when having this conversation with Mom, and it hit me, and I just was like, what? I just have to go with what the Most High had put in me. I felt like the book needed to be written, and I hope that you guys, with as many subscribers as I have, like I said, at least, within the next month or so, let's just try to reach that 1,000 mark. Let's get 1,000 book sales. Okay, I know out of 1,000 people that watch me, order this book. Like I said, even if you have access to it and it takes you a little bit of time to read, maybe you're not an avid reader, maybe you may read a chapter or two or a page or two. That's fine. But have it available. Have even the image, the iconography is powerful. That book is sitting around and somebody's gonna pick it up. Because like I said before, that's what I used to do as I was a child. I would see books around and I would just pick them up. I just had this strong desire to want to know more. And your children are the same. Have those resources around them. Because we can't do it all, and we especially can't do it all the time. At some point in time, they're going to have to think for themselves. And, one of the things that I wanted to say too before, just to comment on the video before, because I had a sister, I don't know if she subscribed or if she did or did not. And I meant to say this in an earlier video because I know, a lot of times we think that it's negative when we talk about things like this, but we must confront these things head on. We can no longer be scared of these things. Don't let fear rule you. So when I said, books to have during the apocalypse, remember the root word of apocalypse, the root meaning is to reveal. To make known, to unveil. So it's not so much as destruction in the modern sense, what we're familiar with. It's to reveal what has always been hidden. Okay, don't you want to know what's been hidden from you? And so, like I said, that manuscript as well, The Untold Story of the Carbon Baby, is spelled with a K, not a C. This is the things that helps. If you want, like I said, a reflection of your energy, of your history, put into a manuscript, and you can have a discussion, start discussions, spark discussions with family and friends. This is exactly what you need. So, like I said, as my mom said, that it was, it wasn't disheartening, but it made me conscious of the fact that a lot of our people, it's just one or two things. One, we just feel like we've been manipulated all the time. The things that people put out is just like always like a money grab. Are they really for us? When you read this book, you'll see for a fact that, trust me, I got your best intentions at heart. It's a scholarly work. We're talking about references, of the highest order, in terms of of their fields, of their respective fields, right? We just don't, pluck, those who affirm what I am saying out of the thin air. This is what, I've been to college, so like I said before, and I don't take these things, I don't take these projects lightly when I have to put my all behind something. So I want to let you guys know, and this is why we have to read. I want to bring out a couple articles to show you the importance of this, and then of course we're going to hit home on some points too as well, because I think that they need to be honed in on. So this first article, it was out of Reuters and stuff, and it's just, it goes to show you exactly what I'm talking about. And it complements what I was saying me and my mom was discussing. The title is Oregon Governor Signs Bill Removing Reading, Writing, and Math Requirements for High School Kids to Help Students of Color. It's the article right there. It's the article right there. Published August 10th, 2021. Let's read a little bit of it. Oregon Governor Kate Brown quietly signed a bill last month that removed the requirement for graduating high school children. Still call them children. You graduate high school, you're not a child any longer. Notice how they associate these terms with us. In the state to be proficient in reading, writing, and math in an effort to aid students of color. Brown signed Senate Bill 744 on July 14th, but did not issue a press release or hold a ceremony to mark the occasion. Instead, opting to pass the bill into law as quietly as possible, according to the Oregonian. The bill also wasn't entered into a legislative database until 2 weeks after its signing, an abnormality, as bills are typically entered on the same day. Though Brown was quiet about the bill, the governor's deputy communications director, Charles Boyle, told the Oregonian that suspending the reading, writing, and math proficiency requirements would benefit students of color, while the state comes up with a new set of standards. For you! They think we slow. Now notice how this works. These blancos pass this bill like every white boy can read. Like every white girl can read at a high level. See, it's not about, they don't want your level of understanding to be high. Oh, it's okay if you can't read. You're not going to get great paying jobs anyways. Your future isn't bright anyways. They know how important it is to have the ability to comprehend what it is that you have read. Because if not, then you are just cannon fodder. You can be strung along at will, at the will of the state. Haven't you seen the people who go along with the agenda just follow suit with no complaints? Now think deeply about this. They made it, supposedly if you buy into the slavery narrative, they made it illegal for you to read, even when they weren't teaching you to read. This is how much they want, this is how badly they want you to run around here acting like zombies. This is why it's important to exercise this. The best revenge that you could ever initiate on this system is one in which you take control of the mind. I'm telling you, brothers and sisters, this is extremely important. Look how they play you. Look at the language that they use when children graduate. I don't know no child who graduated high school. You're an adult. But this is how they're telling you your children. And then trying to make it seem like every white person, every Blanco you run into is a great reader, you know, or it can understand these things effortlessly. Yeah, right. So, and you know how I know that they don't, and this is also, you know, compliments the fact that there's no such thing as the Blanco scientist. This is also published by Reuters. Fake doctor worked at Sydney Hospital for months. Okay, let's read some of that, and I'll show you why I brought this up. Staff at a busy hospital in Sydney, Australia, have been left in shock after learning their colleague who worked with them for 8 months was a fake doctor, even though all their doctors are fake, who allegedly forged documents to get the job. Since January, the 27-year-old woman has been working as a junior doctor at the Bankstown Lidcombe Hospital, where she treated patients despite failing her medical exams. She's accused of using false documents to get the job, which fooled her colleagues, patients, and the top bosses at the hospital. But her run as a doctor is finally over after she failed to provide additional paperwork proving that she was qualified for the role. Now, you see what I'm saying? See, all you have to do with them is have a good image. You don't think, I mean, they would ask me for all the necessary things for me if I rolled up in there because of this. But imagine if I was a white boy and what I know and what I've disclosed to you guys on my platform. You don't think that I could fake being a doctor for not 8 months? Years? See, they don't have any standards set for them. They can do all the faking in the world. They can fake it till they make it. You cannot. It's important that you understand, if you cannot read and if you cannot understand what basically if you cannot understand what you have read, you cannot read anyways. Which means what? You cannot think. Especially think critically. Now let me tell you something, because we go over and over, these things because they try to make it seem like I said, when I come out with these things, when I disclose information to you guys, they try to make it appear that, we're some conspiracy theorists, so that, we're pumping fear and all of this different stuff. And I'm telling you that you can't get away with it. And this is why I'm going to bring up these articles, because like I said, you already know we come full circle. This is also published by Reuters, and it says the title of it was Alex Jones Was Right. U.S. government-funded project Harvest Organs from Aborted Babies for Medical Research, documents show. 6th of August, 2021. Okay, if you want to look up that article. Let's read just a little bit of it. The U.S. funded a project that collects body parts from aborted babies, some of them apparently alive, moments before their organs are harvested. Now, most of them were apparently alive. This is murder. If you were to do this is, what would happen. This is murder. New documents show, prompting claims that conspiracy theorists have been vindicated. The Department of Health and Human Services has awarded at least $2.7 million to a University of Pittsburgh program that sought to create a tissue hub sourced from aborted fetuses ranging from 6 to 42 weeks gestation. 42 weeks equates to more than 10 months of pregnancy. Conservative watchdog group Judicial Watch and the Center for Medical Progress obtained 252 pages of documents as part of a Freedom of Information Act lawsuit brought against the HHS. In its 2015 grant application to the HHS, the University of Pittsburgh explained that it had been collecting fetal tissue for over 10 years, including liver, heart, gonads, legs, brain, genitourinary tissues, including kidneys, ureters, and bladders. The institution requested government funds in order to help develop a pipeline to the acquisition, quality control, and distribution of human genitourinary, urinary, and genital organs and functions. Samples taken from aborted fetuses. Samples taken from alive babies. We go down further. It says it's planned to harvest and distribute quality tissues and cells. Also included racial quotas. The university application said that it wanted 50% of its aborted subjects to be minority fetuses. Minority fetuses. Black babies. However, as the Center for Medical Progress noted, Allegheny County, the region for which the university sources fetuses for harvesting, is 80% white and only 13% black. That's what they say, but they told you what they wanted. So we can't pay attention to it. We already know what you desire and why you desired it. See, in that book, if you were to get that book, remember what we talked, this is like I said before. You will learn things that they don't teach you in school or they don't place emphasis on. Remember when we talked about in that book, and for those who've read it already, you have the 3 phases of matter that they teach you in school, regularity, solid, liquid, gas. They teach you about the 3 phases of matter all the time. But the reality of it is there's 4 phases of matter. And if you've read the book already, you already know that the 4th phase of matter is plasma. Now notice, remember I told you how their trick is. They always marginalize your worth. They always act like you ain't nothing. Okay? So that they can take what is something from you. Something that is worth a tremendous amount of value. Remember they said that plasma in the Big Bang Theory is what started the creation of the planets. And plasma is the 4th state of matter. And yet plasma is 55% of blood composition. Remember, when you go donate blood, if you do, I would never, but if you were to go donate blood, they take the plasma and then dump the rest. They'll put the blood back in your body. They want the plasma. And plasma is like an electrical gas. Did you notice? So think about how critical this is. When have you ever known the Blanco to ever associate something with the least of itself, with the least of its ratio? So if something is 55% of something, then that means that's how you should associate it. So we don't have blood pumping through our veins. We have plasma pumping through our veins. Why would you associate something with the least of it? Blood is only that's only 45% of the makeup. 55% of our blood is plasma. See, this is what I'm telling you. Remember when the Blanco told you he went to the moon? 1969, Apollo 11, Buzz Aldrin and Armstrong, whoever the hell these guys' names were, and they stepped on the moon, right? 1969, and then y'all sitting up here associating this man with a god. And look at small you. He relegated you to nothingness. You in the ghettos. Ain't nothing special about you. But yet he come from the moon. And what did he do after he come from the moon? By 1971, he's dismantled the Panthers. By 1980, he's pumped crack in your ghettos. He's came up with AIDS. That's what he went to the moon for? Y'all look at all of these stellar accomplishments of this man, but somehow he comes back to murder you. How come you are the topic of discussion at his dinner tables? How come you are at the top of his agendas, in his backroom negotiations, in his think tanks? That's because you don't know what you are. And if you don't know what you are, who you are can be decided by those who obviously are in a position of mass ignorance. I'm gonna tell you what they're gonna do. For those, see, they just did, a whole exercise in Southeast Asia and Myanmar, which is, it is Burma. Burma is over there by, Laos, Thailand, bordered by India, Bangladesh, China, and the thing is, they had a coup d'état earlier in February. You never heard about it. Okay, now these people, a country of 54 million individuals, there's only a certain amount of money that's infused into ATMs, and they gotta wait. They gotta wait so that they're saying that they don't encourage a run on the banks. Okay, but supposedly they took the leaders and also the members, like 400 members of parliament, and they they're under house arrest. Okay, because the president at that time, just like many of them, they said, oh well, yeah, they're not going along with the get along. They're not going along with the plan. You see, with the agenda, with the global agenda. So you see what they did? You see why? And then you can learn from that instance, learn from what's going on over there. Matter of fact, it's an article about it. It was in the New York Times. It says they wait hours to withdraw cash, but most ATMs are empty. That was published in the New York Times, and this is about Burma. Okay? So just to read a little bit of it, it says Myanmar has been crippled by a cash shortage since the military seized power 6 months ago, plunging the Southeast Asian nation into a financial crisis. We know that the CIA was over in Burma, shortly after World War II, fighting off the Japanese, developing, militias and guerrilla units to fight off Japanese fighters. So they go back a long way. So, we're not going to go off in that history because we've already told you what to look for in those examples. But the fact of the matter is that we know who's doing it. They can say that some people came out of nowhere and took over a whole government. Come on now. Come on now. See, this is what I'm telling you. That's why the end game is going to happen whether you like it or not. And what you have to trust that they're doing that they're working in your best interest. You have to trust that. You see what I'm saying? And then when I got on these people about, the president of this country and that country and Haiti, some people say, oh, yeah, he wasn't for the global agenda. I said, see, one thing that we got to understand, in politics, all you have to do is be a one-trick pony. Think about it. If Candace Owens ran for president right now, she's against the jab. She's against the jab. So would you elect her purely off of that? She ain't rocking with you in any other area. You see what I'm saying? Why do everybody just got to be a one-trick pony? Just because they're against one thing don't mean they're against it in all areas of activity. Like Dr. Francois Wilson and Dr. Neely Fuller talked about. They have to be liberated in all areas of life activity for you to rock and roll with them. Not just one. Telling you, get the book. If you ain't, support the FOF squad. I know some of you, like I said, may have some reservations, but this is what we doing. We're trying to open your mind up and get you to see that you have to think on a deeper level. And that critical thinking comes about by you exercising your mind yourself. Not having training wheels and not, a lot of times piggybacking off of what someone else is saying or listening to someone else critically analyze information for you. You have to do it yourself because at some moment in time, you may have no one else around you but yourself. And you're going to have to be able to think critically. It's your boy, Haywood Haynes. I just wanted to make you think. FOF Squad.